Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Ulysse Nardin Marine Chronograph manufacture. You can buy this 43mm stainless steel manufacture movement chronograph on our website and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos. You can also click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during the video to see our full listing for this watch with additional accessories included, high resolution images, and naturally our full pricing details. On my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see this 43mm stainless steel watch has a remarkably modern and upright presence. 15 millimeters thick, you can see that it actually has a little bit of a bowl shape, such that the lip of the bezel hangs out a little farther than the base of the case. Now, this does make it a little bit of a challenge to fit underneath a tight sleeve or dress cuff, so consider it compatible with a sport jacket or blazer sleeve only, not the tightest of formal sleeves. From lug to lug, the watch is actually quite manageable. 50 millimeters is a fairly standard modern watch size, and on timepieces above 42 millimeters, 50 has to be considered downright compact, so that eases the wear on smaller wrists. I would say my wrist being 16 centimeters, I'd estimate that the lower limit to wear this watch, with a good sense of proportion, security, and lack of lug overlap at the edge of the wrists, is probably about 14 centimeters circumference. So that's the wrist size that I consider the lower limit. Now, the watch does have nice heft to it. It's an impressively substantial piece, and again, the stainless steel of the case, rendered this deep, gives it a nice weighty mass, a premium watch feel on the wrist, befitting a high-end timepiece. It's paired with wonderfully short-cropped lugs, though, so you can see how they start to thrust down immediately after they exit the flank of the case. Each end of the strap, articulated in this case, is fixed with a screw, which is far more secure than the use of pin buckles. So Ulysse Nardin opted for the slightly more expensive option, the premium option, the one that every sports watch should adhere to, screws fixing the strap or bracelet to the lugs, not spring bars. You will note that because of the articulated link in titanium, the bracelet has an ability to pivot that allows it to effectively jump straight down and bend around the tight curve of a smaller wrist like mine. This is the second generation of Ulysse Nardin's articulated strap, and what they discovered was, due to the presence of the wrist bone on the 12 o'clock side, the articulated link on that side tended to get in the way and create suboptimal ergonomics. To fit around a tighter wrist, they only needed to double hinge one side of the strap. So again, Ulysse Nardin advancing on all fronts, a little bit of heritage emblematic of the 18th century, or rather 1800s and early 1900s marine chronometers, but again, advancing the state-of-the-art in ergonomics with strap, case, and lugs. Now the strap is very pliant underneath. Soft, natural vulcanized rubber. It really does curve under the tight confines of a smaller wrist, the soft underbelly of your wrist, so to speak, with incredible comfort. And although these scored elements are there to assist in sizing the strap, those that remain are excellent for releasing sweat, grit, moisture, and heat that become trapped underneath the wrist on a hot day. The buckle is a beautiful piece, entirely in titanium. This is a stainless steel watch, but the buckle is executed in titanium for lightweight strength, and it has a different aesthetic to it. With a satin finish, it's a dark gray metal that contrasts nicely with the stainless steel. With a double deployant action, it doesn't have that one big up and over folds that can sometimes pinch a smaller wrist on a single fold deployant. So ergonomically excellent, aesthetically superb. It's also very secure when closed. Thanks to the twin trigger actuation, you do have to press them both to open it. This one is very secure and will not pop open accidentally. You get a quick glance at that UN caliber 150 manufacture chronograph movement, but only after we introduce ourselves to the dial. Now the dial is framed by a knurled bezel. Moving inboard, there's a dramatically sloped chapter ring, or rehot, about the outer skirts of the dial, flanking applied cobalt blue Arabic numerals, again in vintage fashion. The watch does feature luminescence, and you can see the subtle index in luminova outboard of each one of the hours, as well as small pearls on the pear-style hands. So a true sports watch, you can see it in low or no light, but it does pay homage to Ulysse Nardin's 19th century and early 20th century marine chronometers in its general layout. It also has a gorgeous lacquer base. It's glossy, it's rich, it almost appears wet. It's a kissing cousin to enamel, and it has the same kind of effect. You'll also note that the sub-registers for constant seconds, chronograph hours and minutes are sunken into the dial to give it another plane of focus, and there's a discrete date window at 4:30. It's there when you want it, largely invisible when you don't because of the monotone date disc. It's a handsome watch face that fronts Ulysse Nardin's first in-house chronograph caliber. You can see the chronograph caliber 150, 25 joules. It's executed far distinct, I would say, from the old Lamagna caliber shared with Ebel, from which it derives. Now, Ulysse Nardin spent about 2.5 years re-engineering this movement, and you could see the fruits of their labor. A full balance bridge, dual anchored, for stability against shock. You can see free sprung in addition. Again, just more robust security against shock-induced timing variation. You can see beautiful finish with a lacquered medallion on the winding rotor, blazoned with the Ulysse Nardin logo. Also a gorgeous circular Côte de Genève across the bridges. It does feature a 28,800 vibration per hour modern beat rate, hacking seconds, a quick set date, and of course, the 48-hour power reserve is energized by a rotor borne on unlubricated and sealed for life ceramic rotor bearings for high efficiency and minimal maintenance. To top all off, the watch features a silicon escapement featuring both the anchor and the escape wheel in Ulysse Nardin's proprietary silicon component. It's as functionally efficient and robust as it is handsome. To top all off, the watch is secure against 100 meters of submergence with a screw-down crown, so it is a full-featured sports watch, sporting in aesthetic, sporting in its function, and sporting in its security against the elements. You can see this Ulysse Nardin marine chronograph manufacture and purchase it on our website.